This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Infant manslaughter. A Yarmouth mother pleads guilty in the death of her 17-month-old son.
Rate hike. Halifax Water gets approval to raise rates, but not by as much as it wanted.
And a toy drive. Parents from Digby honor their daughter by donating Christmas gifts to the IWK.
Temperatures are on the rise over the next couple of days. Mild for Wednesday and Thursday, and a big warm-up set for Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A Yarmouth woman has pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the 2020 death of her 17-month-old son.
April Wendy Marie Surratt's son Isaiah died due to blunt head trauma 5 years ago. The CBC's Francis Willick has the details and a warning. Some details in the story may be disturbing to some.
Documents filed in Yarmouth Provincial Court on Monday say Isaiah Surratt died in December 2020 after his mother threw him from a bed onto the hardwood floor. The impact caused swelling and bleeding in his brain, and he died in hospital 3 days later. April Surratt, who is 32, pleaded guilty to manslaughter. An agreed statement of facts says the boy had been in foster care in the months leading up to his death. He was returned to Surratt's care just 2 weeks before he died. Court records say Surratt was struggling to establish a bond with the boy. The document says Surratt was feeling overwhelmed and the child was inconsolable on the day of the incident. In the days beforehand, Surratt conducted various searches on her phone. The searches pertain to hating her child and herself, babies that cry too much, and bonding with a child after foster care. The case has raised questions about why the child was returned to Surratt's care and whether adequate supports were in place to help. Alex Stratford is the registrar with the Nova Scotia College of Social Workers. He says social workers who make decisions about whether to place a child back into a family home after foster care are struggling to meet the demands of their caseloads.
Right now it feels like you're just running from fire to fire to fire without the opportunity to connect, to understand more, and to put forward meaningful case plans that are going to make a substantial difference in folks' lives.
Stratford says the case highlights the need for a child and youth advocate, more funding for social workers, and more poverty reduction efforts. Stratford says the college is considering investigating whether the social work standards were met in this case. April Surratt is scheduled to be back in court for sentencing in March. The Crown and Defence plan to file a joint submission for a sentence of 6 years in prison. Francis Willick, CBC News, Halifax.
The provincial regulator has turned down a request from Halifax Water to bill its customers an extra 35% in the new year. In a decision released this morning, the Utility and Review Board approved a rate increase in general, but says the amount requested would have been rate shock. Preston Mulligan has more.
Higher rates for Halifax Water customers are coming in the new year. That much we can count on. But the Utility and Review Board calls the 35.6% proposal not justified and overestimated.
It seems high, but I guess you always start by asking for the highest number and negotiate from there.
It seemed a little excessive, but in retrospect, they deliver a fairly good service. And we find that if we conserve our water and we're careful about how we use it, it's not too out of control.
I won't say it's extortionate, but it's excessive in these times. If they have issues in managing their practices, maybe they've got to look at what they're spending it on right now.
Halifax Water says it needs the higher rates to cover inflation, to maintain aging infrastructure and other pressures. The direction from the regulator is for Halifax Water to come back on December 23rd with a lower number. The UARB also suggested Halifax Water ask the municipality for help with its financial shortfalls. A hard no from the mayor, who today asked both the provincial and municipal auditors general to take a look at Halifax Water's spending practices.
We all have a duty. We Halifax Water, we have HRM. All of us have a duty to tighten our belts in the same way that households are and in the same way that the provincial and federal governments are.
So we'll wait another week for Halifax Water to come back with another proposal, something cheaper than 35.6%. But whatever the regulator finally approves, the year ahead will be an expensive one. Nova Scotia Power is proposing to charge its customers an extra 7.9% by the end of 2027, and property taxes and HRM right now are scheduled to go up another 10.9%. Preston Mulligan, CBC News, Halifax.
A British Columbia Supreme Court judge signed off today on the $235 million bid from John Bragg-owned company for the Northern Pulp's Timberlands. Bragg's bid for 173,000 hectares of land and other assets was selected following an auction at the end of November. The deal is now subject to approval under the terms of the Federal Competition Act. Bragg said in a statement last week that his family remains dedicated to good forestry practices. Among other things, proceeds from the sale will go toward topping up pensions for employees of Northern Pulp and repaying debts the mill owed the Nova Scotia government.
The Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation has signed an agreement with the Mi'kmaq community for what would be a first-of-its-kind on-reserve shop owned by the band. But Wagmatcook Chief Norman Bernard says that plan is now on ice. Bernard did not give a reason. The pause comes as tensions are flaring between Mi'kmaq chiefs and the province over cannabis regulation. Justice Minister Scott Armstrong directed police earlier this month to crack down on unregulated dispensaries. Mi'kmaq chiefs say the province does not have jurisdiction, and some chiefs say they are only interested in self-regulating.
And there is an impressive warm-up on the way. Ryan Snoddon with us now to talk weather.
Yes, we've got up and down all week.
Yeah, a bit of a roller coaster ride. Starting obviously so chilly to start the week, but we're ticking up definitely over the next few days. Wednesday, quite mild indeed. 5, 6, 7 degrees. So if any lingering ice on your driveway or walkway, good day to get out there and scrape things away as things will loosen up a little bit, so to speak. Southwest winds 30, gusting to 50, except 60 and 70 along parts of the coast. So it is going to be a breezy day on Wednesday, ushering in this warmer air. Now, we will see temperatures staying mild on Thursday, but a little bit of a drop back. Somewhat anyways. That front comes through. Winds go to west-northwest on Thursday. We're still above the freezing mark, but just barely. And then as we move into the late week, this is the system. This is the headliner of the week. Strong southerly winds, especially through Friday evening into the overnight. Some rain and, yes, double-digit temps. All the details on that in your 7-day are coming up.
Do stay tuned.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Nova Scotia's flu season is expected to arrive earlier than expected. Usually, peak flu season starts here in late December or early January. This year, it's expected to arrive before the Christmas holidays. Nova Scotia's Chief Medical Officer of Health is encouraging people to get vaccinated, including pregnant women who are at high risk.
They are at increased risk themselves of severe disease, which then carries risk to themselves, but also carries risk to their unborn child of prematurity, other complications.
The flu vaccine is free in Nova Scotia.
The palliative care unit in Lunenburg is set to partially open in January, 4 years after its announcement. 2 out of the 5 hospice beds at Fisherman's Memorial Hospital will welcome their first patients in the new year. The remaining beds will open once they have the needed staff lined up.
We're scheduling kind of the next kind of more strategic and organized learning session for a little bit later in February. So kind of knock on wood, we'll have everybody that we need by then.
The unit is set to have a rotation of family doctors, nurses, care assistants, and volunteers.
The federal government is investing over $5 million in greening operations at Sable Island Nature Park Reserve. The money will go toward modernizing the park's power grid, including upgrading to solar panels. Halifax West MP Lena Metledge-Diab made the announcement today. She says this is part of the government's goal to reduce the use of fossil fuels.
This investment will be used to install a sustainable microgrid power system on the island. This innovative system, comprised of solar panels, a battery bank, and a variable speed generators, will reduce the use of fossil fuels on Sable Island by more than 50%.
The park will also retrofit some of its infrastructure, like adding heat pumps.
The Professional Women's Hockey League is in Halifax this week for the first of a series of games across North America to continue to grow the sport. The PWHL Takeover Tour will visit 16 neutral sites in Canada and the U.S. And with both games in Halifax already sold out, things are starting off with a bang. Josh Hoffman reports.
Fans from across Nova Scotia are excited for their first up-close look at the Professional Women's Hockey League, with some even bailing on other commitments to experience as much as possible. What are you missing today to be here?
My Christmas concert.
Is it worth it?
Oh no, it's definitely worth it.
The PWHL's Takeover Tour kicks off in Halifax on Wednesday night with a sold-out game at Scotiabank Arena between the Toronto Scepters and Montreal Victoire. But there are several other events scheduled for fans this week, including practices that are open to the public and even visits to local schools. The league just started its third season and has quickly become a success with expansion to Vancouver and Seattle this year. And taking the sport on the road to places like Halifax gives many young fans a chance to watch their new role models.
It makes me feel happy because then I know that I can make it a professional league and not just have to sit back and relax at home when I get to their age. Or play like for a different league. I can actually be on TV like the NHL.
It gives you something to look forward to, and I've always wanted to play in higher leagues. And I always looked up to the NHL when I was a kid, but now there's Women's League, so it's exciting.
Wednesday night's matchup between the Toronto Scepters and the Montreal Victoire is the first of 16 neutral site games across North America as part of the league's latest Takeover Tour. Now, Scotiabank Arena may be considered a neutral site, but there's some Nova Scotian talent on both sides for fans to cheer for.
It's a really cool opportunity, one that I never dreamt that I would have. So it's really special for me to be here and to be able to play in my home province in front of a lot of my family and friends.
Well, my mom's been following me around all day here, which has been awesome. You know, she gave presents to the girls, which was really cool. And then, you know, I got to just meet with some Pictou County players and coaches, which is so great to be able to give back.
No matter what team comes out on top Wednesday night, the PWHL is hoping events like this are a win for women's hockey. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Halifax.
The drop-off for Sawyer's first annual Christmas toy drive took place at the IWK this week. The drive is in memory of Sawyer Titus, a young girl who loved coloring, drawing, and was known to be compassionate. She died this past October at the age of 11.
Her parents, Ryan and Jessica Titus, know what it's like for sick children and their families this time of year. So they started collecting toys in their community of Digby, and they were amazed with how many they received.
We had our daughter pass away end of October, and my wife come up with the idea, let's start a toy drive. And over the last month of doing it, everybody's been delivering and us picking up, and it just turned out more than what we expected. We posted on Facebook of donations. We made flyers, passed them around to local businesses. Everybody donated pretty well that where we took them. My wife set up an online wish list on Amazon, posted that on Facebook, and packages just kept coming to our house. You can't even imagine how it makes you feel knowing that everybody thought of her, thought of us to help out. We've been in the IWK months and months over Sawyer's lifespan, and I've seen firsthand kids that are here and stuck in holidays. Why not try to make something a little brighter for somebody else? And Sawyer was like that. She took care of everybody else. She's very compassionate for being so young.
It's amazing to be able to take that stress off families. Like, it's really hard to get out shopping when you're here trying to care for your child, and just to not have that extra burden of having to be somewhere else or have to leave your child's side at a time when they really want you to be close by is key. Thank you to this family, and thank you. They traveled all the way from Digby this morning and in the snow, and they spent all this time collecting these wonderful toys in memory of their daughter, and we really appreciate that.
Such a wonderful tribute. Some beautiful lights out there tonight. Ryan is up next with the weather forecast. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, warm up on the way. You know who's not happy about that? The skiers.
That's true. That's true. There's some wet
Melt
weather
away.
and some wind.
So
and
much for the ski hills.
Yeah, well, you know what? Even with the base,
maybe.
right?
Okay.
The base will be key. And a couple of points. So certainly tomorrow's going to be a warm-up. Thursday, marginal, just above the freezing mark. Now, Friday, you're looking at that, you're thinking double digits, really gusty winds and rain, but it's all, at least the rain, coming in a short period of time, like 6 hours. So I think that will limit totals to about 10 to 30 millimeters. The winds, though, are going to howl most of the day, double-digit temps. Lots to talk about. Have a look at our temperatures out there right now. 1-2 degrees in through the Tri-County area already. And note it's -10 in Truro and Parsboro, -13 at Antigonish. You want to talk about temperature differences? 15 degree split from Back Row to Antigonish right now in a few hours drive. Now, as we look at the temperatures, the winds, you can see that we're in and around the 20 kilometer per hour range along parts of the coast here with some gusts up to 40 kilometers per hour. And the winds are going to be a factor tonight as that southwest wind does usher in that milder air and the temperatures rise overnight. Onshore flurries will continue to wrap up for Cape Breton. There's our latest low, which is bringing some flurries mixing with showers in through the Great Lakes with those temperatures on the rise. And this is the big warm up that we're talking about for Friday. And temperatures very mild into the double digits in through the BC interior yesterday and again today. -17 in through Saskatoon as this little cold wave pushes in behind this system. But we're really not going to be tapping into that a whole lot, as you will see. So overnight lows tonight are, again, basically where we are now, with temperatures rising overnight, southwest winds 30 to 50, and then, yes, pushing up towards 70 along parts of the coast. Note the timeline here as we move through the next few hours. We are looking at temperatures rising, and we're at 7 degrees by tomorrow morning in Yarmouth and Shelburne. We're in and around the freezing mark from Antigonish back into Cape Breton, where we could see maybe an isolated flurry. There's really not much precipitation in this warm front, but there is the potential for a flurry or maybe an isolated shower. Forecast models certainly flirting with some sunny breaks tomorrow, especially in the midday time frame as that front moves off and we get into this dry pocket, but expecting that the clouds will dominate for a good chunk of the day on Wednesday. And into Wednesday evening, temperatures will stay mild, and then that front will move through Wednesday night in through Thursday. 6 and 7 degrees on tap for most. The winds sustain near 30, still gusting 40, 50, 60, 70 along parts of the coast for tomorrow. And again, that chance for some sunny breaks. Thursday, we go back to a northwest flow primarily in the morning, 2, 3, 4 degrees with this northwest wind in the morning becoming lighter into the afternoon. And so really a pretty pleasant Thursday with the sunshine on tap. We'll take that. There's the area of high pressure that's going to move off to the east. And here comes that next weather maker. And it's going to be bringing in that soaking rain for New Brunswick through the afternoon. For Nova Scotia, it's a chance for showers ahead of the main line, the meat and potatoes of the system, so to speak. And that will then push across the province Friday evening into the overnight. The winds will pick up ahead of it, no question, but the strongest winds will be as the rain arrives. That's where we're talking about those gusts. I hate to throw out numbers just yet because some forecast models are really bullish on how strong the winds could get on Friday night. Warning level criteria is 90 kilometers per hour. Based on what I'm seeing right now, I think we would be looking at some wind warnings on Friday night. So we'll leave it there and revisit that obviously tomorrow. Looking at the temperatures then falling through Saturday morning all the way down to -3 into the afternoon, then kind of steady there. Then we're down to -4 by Sunday morning, but back up on Sunday afternoon with a chance for some showers mixing with flurries. Now, you snow lovers cringing here, but a chance for Tuesday into Tuesday night. Perhaps another little system coming through, enough to whiten things up. We keep our fingers and toes crossed for the snow lovers, Tom and Amy.
That's right. Betcha. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Experts say Prince Edward Island's changing landscape is putting more than a dozen lighthouses in harm's way.
There are options to protect some of them, but saving others will be more complicated. The CBC's Chien Desjardins explains.
This is one of 6 lighthouses that the province says is at high risk because of factors like coastal erosion. It sits on sand too, making it particularly difficult to protect, and you can see just how close it is to the ocean.
I am very concerned that eventually it'll get washed away, and it's 150 or will be 150 years old. So we want to protect this heritage site as long as we can, and how do we do that is the biggest thing.
This area looks much different since post-tropical storm Fiona dismantled it in 2022.
You can see where the sand was and has gone, just kind of drifted away.
The beach is smaller now, so are the dunes, leaving the lighthouse exposed.
The natural recovery of those coastlines can be unsustainable. We really need to have regular monitoring and design appropriate protection plan to make sure the lighthouse won't be threatened.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution either. The province says the high-risk lighthouses are dealing with multiple problems at the same time, like flood zones or serious erosion, and are in immediate danger if nothing is done. The moderate high-risk ones are in trouble too. It's just not as critical yet. Most of these face north or east, the first to be hit when powerful storms roll in.
This is known as the oldest lighthouse on PEI. It's really close to the water too, but because of all of the work that's gone into protecting the coast, the province says it's low risk for now.
So far, our bank is being preserved. We started with 9 acres. Now we only have 3.2 left. So if you did the math over the years, I have a feeling that our lighthouse would be gone by now.
She painted this after a big storm years ago. The cliffs kept crumbling away.
And you can see the tangled mess of roots and how close it is.
Because the lighthouse is brick, it can't be moved like other ones. Instead, they added cement and all these giant stones. It's expensive, but she says they got funding, and it's working well.
Eventually, these sand dunes will be gone. It's just that simple.
A rock wall here, though, isn't a great option. Scott McEwen says they have some short-term ideas. Unfortunately, there aren't many fixes long-term.
It dates back to 1865, the original building on it, so it's incredibly important to preserve a piece of our history and celebrate it.
The group that takes care of this lighthouse doesn't have any set plans for its future yet, but if it's between moving it or watching it get swept away, relocation might have to be the answer. Chien Desjardins, CBC News, St. Peter's Harbor.
Coming up, strategic shopping, how Canadians are changing their purchasing habits this holiday season. Well, the Christmas shopping season is in full swing, but like a lot of years, there are financial headwinds hitting consumers. Affordability in an age where other household bills remain high. Still the name of the game this Christmas shopping season. Jim Cormier is with the Retail Council of Canada joining us now in studio. I'm not sure how you're doing with your Christmas shopping. Maybe that should be the first question.
I'm doing okay, but Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody here.
Likewise to you as well. I looked at your retail report, your recent report, and I'm curious, you know, when you look at how much you expect Maritimers to spend this Christmas season, what's the ballpark?
Well, look, it's the rise of the strategic shopper, and we're looking at spending nationally holding steady, $975 per person. That's good, especially with all of the economic headwinds that we've had this year, and some uncertainty going into next year. In Atlantic Canada, it's down about 1% from $940 last year down to about $915. But it's showing that it's still good news for Atlantic Canadian retailers that people are planning on spending. That's still a good amount of money per person. And they're talking a lot about, look, I really want to support local. And I'm looking at more practical gifts because they're being very strategic, that they want to make sure that they get the most bang for their buck.
All right, let's talk some more about that. The retail sector is such an important part of the economy, obviously. They are facing the headwinds, things like the higher grocery bills, for example, utility bills up as well. How much of an impact does that have on the shopper?
Well, it can, but what we're finding is that, as I mentioned, shoppers are being much more strategic. They're planning ahead. A lot of them, this survey was done back in August, and even then people were saying, I'm going to wait until the deals come. Black Friday has really reemerged over the last 2 years as the time to shop. People are looking for those deals. Of course, Black Friday lasts for weeks now, and so it gives them an opportunity to find those deals. People are now looking at, they're thinking, look, gift cards have really gone up in popularity because people are more practical, that I can buy you a set amount and you can buy whatever you want. You can buy it at a time when there's even better deals on. People are also talking about buying secondhand goods. That was something we never heard of even 5 years ago, and now you're seeing, a different mindset toward it. That it's okay to do something like that, where you can give a meaningful gift. One of the other ones is that people are buying for less numbers of people, but maybe buying more meaningful gifts for their actual loved ones. So it's changing a lot.
I know lots have changed. I mean, thrift stores, they weren't that common all that long ago, really. Now you see them on a lot of corners and a lot of places. People are shopping at them for sure. What about the Canada-U.S. trade situation? People say they want to shop locally, they want to shop Canadian, but the Amazon trucks are pretty busy running around on the streets too. So what can you tell us about that sort of dynamic of the retail situation in Canada?
Well, shoppers kind of eat themselves whole on that one a bit, where it's they want to shop Canadian, and they will look for that. They've said that, those that shop online, over 80% have said they will shop with an online marketplace platform if they see that platform is supporting Canadian retailers, Canadian products, that sort of thing. But price is still number one. Especially here in Atlantic Canada, where often the economic headwinds have more of an impact on us than other parts of the country. 20% versus 16% nationally, 20% have said price is still paramount. And for that reason, Atlantic Canadians are going to shop more with big box retailers because they know they can get a good price and they can always get the products that they want. That's not to say they're not going to shop with the independent retailers, and we encourage people to get out and support them as well. We're just saying that the practicality of Atlantic Canadians is really starting to show through on that. But shop Canadian is always going to be very important.
And will they delay a purchase until they get the price they want?
They can, but we always remind people that if you wait, don't be disappointed if you can't find the exact product or if it's clothing the exact size that you want. So we always encourage people to get out early, and the point that Black Friday is paramount, that shows that people understand that, and they've been out doing their shopping since November.
What about the last-minute Christmas shopper? That takes all the fun out of it if you do the early shopping.
Well, it all depends on whether or not you want to potentially disappoint your loved ones. And some of those that wait until Christmas Eve, sometimes they don't end up with the products that they want and need under the Christmas tree.
All right, one last final thing before we go here. When you look at the retail situation in this country, in this province, what would you like to see? What does the council look at and say, here's what we need to be encouraging more of?
Well, I think it's often, and we've been doing a lot of this ourselves, is to help people understand that when we talk about support the retailers in your local neighborhood, that doesn't just mean only support Canadian businesses. It means support those retailers that are paying taxes in your local community, that are employing people in your local community, that are donating to different charitable organizations in your local community. In some cases, those are American retailers, but they have a huge footprint within Canada where they're doing a lot to help help our own people here in Atlantic Canada and across Canada. So we always encourage people to take a look at those people that are doing business in your community, employing your friends and neighbors, and get out and support them, regardless of whether they're a small independent or in some cases some of the largest retailers in the world.
The in-store shopping experience seems to be relatively healthy. I mean, there is the online purchases, obviously, but there was a time when people thought, oh, people will be closing the lights off in a lot of in-store retail operations.
10, 15 years ago, everybody was saying that, oh, in-store shopping is dead, bricks and mortar retail is dead, it's just a matter of time, and now you're seeing the exact opposite. People want to get out and touch and feel product. They love being a part of the experience. It's more of a social thing for many people, so now you're seeing a huge rebound for bricks and mortar retail, and all you have to do is look at some pure play retailers are now opening bricks and mortar stores.
Good luck with the rest of the shopping.
Thank you. And remember, get out and support those retailers in your local community.
Coming up, parts of British Columbia are being lashed by heavy rain once again, just days after severe flooding caused evacuation orders and closed highways.
And Ontario health officials are urging people to get their flu shot after 3 children died of influenza earlier this month. Welcome back. We're learning new details about the suspected gunman in the deadly Bondi Beach Hanukkah shooting. Australian police say the attack, which left 15 people dead and 25 others hospitalized, was inspired by ISIS. And their investigation into the father and son suspects is now stretching overseas.
They also say the son's vehicle, now removed from the scene, contained improvised explosive devices. All that as thousands of people continue to visit an impromptu memorial site for the victims, including the CBC's Georgie Smythe.
Being here at this memorial, you truly get the sense that this is a community that is forever changed by what happened here. Bondi, Australia's most famous beach, is a place where people would come to be happy and relaxed, go to the beach or one of the cafes nearby, but this area has become a focal point for a national outpouring of grief and difficult conversations around anti-Semitism and gun violence. All day we've seen people coming here with their family and friends carrying flowers, candles and messages, and there's been a huge outpouring of support for the victims, many of which live in this Bondi area. We've spoken to some people who came down here to just bear witness to the unspeakable violence that took place here a few days ago.
We were all just very shocked, so to come down here is quite special to just see what's happening, because we can't believe it's happening in our country.
It's really nice to see all the people who've come out here, like, no matter the race or like religion or everything. It's just so nice to see Australia come together, like after, this event. It's pretty sad, but, we'll get through it.
A multi-agency investigation is still underway, and we were told that police have found 2 homemade ISIS flags in the vehicle that the 2 gunmen drove to this location. Police continue to believe that this was an ISIS-inspired attack. The 24-year-old man who did survive the attack is in hospital awaiting significant charges. Police also told us that the duo had travelled to the Philippines in the last month, and the Australian public broadcaster is reporting that that was for military training. As for the political response, there's been a lot of criticism for the federal government here for not doing enough to combat anti-Semitism. When it comes to gun control, both the federal and state governments here are vowing to do more.
The consideration that will take place includes limiting the number of guns an individual can own, the type of guns that are legal, whether gun ownership should require Australian citizenship.
It's the same kind of crackdown that happened almost 30 years ago after Australia's deadliest mass shooting, and one that people say didn't go far enough to prevent another tragedy happening here. Georgie Smythe, CBC News, Sydney.
A Canadian delegation, including 6 MPs, was denied entry into the occupied West Bank early Tuesday. The trip was organized by a group called the Canadian Muslim Vote. Rafi Boudjikanian has more from Jerusalem.
By now, this delegation of 30 Canadians, including 6 members of parliament, was supposed to be wrapping up their day in Jerusalem. Instead, they found themselves having to go back to Jordan after they were denied entry into the occupied West Bank through the Allenby crossing point from Jordan and then on into Israel. The National Council of Canadian Muslims, which has representation in the wider group, calls this an outrage.
This is just further proof that under this government, Israel is neither our friend nor our ally, nor shares our values.
We have to ask the question, what is it that the Israeli government is trying to hide, or the information that they don't want us to receive on the ground?
The group's now cancelled plans included a visit to the occupied West Bank to meet with displaced Palestinians, as well as meetings with officials of the Palestinian Authority, the body which in part administers the swath of land. This denial of entry into the West Bank and into Israel comes at a time of heightened tensions between Canada and Israel. Canada being one of the Western countries that recognized the Palestinian state back in September at the United Nations General Assembly. Nevertheless, Israel says the reason the group was rejected was because of a lack of prior coordination before trying to come here. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Jerusalem.
On Tuesday, Israel's embassy in Canada said the group was denied entry because of links to Islamic Relief Worldwide, which is listed as a terror entity by Israel. Israel added Islamic Relief Worldwide to its permanent list of terrorist organizations in 2014.
Another deluge of wet weather is hitting British Columbia, with Metro Vancouver, Vancouver Island, and the Fraser Valley taking the brunt yet again. It comes after days of storms, including some powerful winds on Monday that became deadly. Yasmin Rania reports.
After days of heavy wind and rain in BC's Fraser Valley, tragedy struck. Police say a woman was killed by a falling tree on Monday. It happened around 3 p.m. local time at a regional park in Chilliwack.
At that particular moment, the wind had stirred up something fierce. It was heavy rain, and everything was very volatile at that time.
Police say the 27-year-old was with her 2 young children at the time who were not hurt. Darren Clark didn't witness the incident but often walks through the park and saw police there Monday.
So close to Christmas, I just feel for the family. It's a tough one.
The woman's death took place during a fierce windstorm. Environment Canada says wind gusts reached 66 kilometers per hour in Chilliwack Monday afternoon. Other parts of the Fraser Valley saw winds up to 100 kilometers per hour. Downed trees and power lines left thousands in the region without power Monday, and some outages continued Tuesday. The Fraser Valley has been battling heavy rain for nearly a week, which has flooded homes and businesses and killed some livestock. And the showers continue, so do the threats of more flooding and landslides. Environment Canada is forecasting up to 70 millimeters of rain in the Fraser Valley and other parts of Lower Mainland, with more rain expected for the rest of the week. Yasmin Ghanea, CBC News, Chilliwack, British Columbia.
Health officials in Ontario are renewing their plea for people to get a flu vaccine. This comes after 3 children, aged 5 to 9, died from flu-related complications this month in the Ottawa area.
The flu is a very serious illness. It still kills 400 to 500,000 people per year on the planet, year after year. There's about 2,500 to 3,500 Canadians who will succumb to the flu virus every year, and much of this is preventable with vaccination.
Ontario is seeing a surge in flu cases this year. The Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario says more than 300 tests have come back positive for influenza in the first 10 days of December. That is a dramatic spike compared to the same period last year, when there were just 11 cases.
The federal government has announced new regulations aimed at cutting methane emissions. The goal is to significantly reduce greenhouse gas outputs. Olivia Stefanovich has the details.
Just weeks after the federal government backed a potential new bitumen pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast, it's announcing new regulations targeting the most potent major greenhouse gas emitted by the oil and gas industry, methane. These new regulations would ban the intentional release of methane and require inspections to find and repair leaks. But the industry doesn't necessarily have to follow these new rules if they can demonstrate that their facilities meet international methane standards. And if that's the case, operators can come up with their own solutions to reduce methane emissions. So too can provinces, something that the Environment Minister is defending, as she also pushes back on the suggestion that the government is failing to meet its climate goals.
I will actually push back on the idea that today is about dilly-dallying. In fact, I'm really excited about today because today is actually where we put into action regulations that are going to reduce the methane emissions in our country. It is one of the most important things that we can do, and one of the most cost-effective things that we can do.
Ottawa wants to reduce methane emissions in this country by 75% from 2012 levels by 2030. But it's giving provinces wiggle room if they can demonstrate a plan that meets an equivalent standard. For example, Ottawa is working with Alberta on a plan to reduce methane emissions in that province 5 years after the federal target. And along with the fossil fuel industry, the federal government is targeting landfills, which produce a smaller portion of methane emissions. The federal government also says that since methane regulations were first introduced in 2018, the oil and gas industry, its extraction revenues have increased by more than 70%, while Canada has been able to maintain its methane reduction targets. These new enhanced measures take effect starting on January 1st, 2028. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
As the holidays approach, some people in Ontario who live near the Quebec border have found a new way to scrounge up some extra money.
Sarah Levitt looks at how different provincial recycling programs have led to a cash bonanza.
Quebec's soda and can return system is the envy of Canada. Well, at least Ontarians. 10 to 25 cents for returning soda cans, plastic bottles, and beer bottles. But here in Grenville, Quebec, it's become so popular because people across that bridge in Ontario are taking advantage of it. Employees at this store have seen it happen. They don't pay a deposit in Ontario, she says, so it's advantageous for them to bring their stuff here. In Ontario, consumers really only get back their deposit on alcoholic beverages. So let's say you buy a Pepsi in Ontario, but come to Quebec to return it, that nets you 10 whole cents. That's what Serge Miron does about 3 times a week. So where are you from?
Hawkesbury.
Hawkesbury, okay. So tell me what you're doing.
Pick up some can and I bring it here to make money.
As of March, Quebec expanded its return system to include plastic containers that weren't only soft drinks. In the coming years, it'll also incorporate all glass containers as well as cartons. The non-profit Consigne Action, which manages the system, says, of course, there are growing pains.
The way that we identify the containers is through a barcode. Barcode is per country, so I can tell, our system can tell if the container comes from the US, it will be rejected. But if it comes from somewhere across Canada, I can't tell the difference.
There's no legislation right now that forbids somebody from another province from getting the deposit in Quebec. In Grenville, Quebecers don't seem too worried about the phenomenon.
Good for her.
Not a problem.
No problem.
That's what you get. If you have the luck to do it, you do it. Miron says he'll continue to get his extra $100 a week as long as he can. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Grenville, Quebec.
Canada's main stock index fell more than 200 points on Tuesday, weighed down by losses in the energy sector, while U.S. markets posted mixed results. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break.
I'm Angela McIver, a reporter here at CBC Nova Scotia. My focus is on consumer stories, so basically anything that involves your money. Think you've been scammed or have information about a potential fraud? Get in touch and I will dig into it. I'm here to investigate.
This weather update is brought to you in part by Atlantic Lottery's iGames. Play hundreds of games on the Atlantic Lottery app or at alc.ca.
All right, yeah, chance to fine-tune your snow removal of your sidewalks and your walkways, and the rain might help a little bit too.
Yeah, if it's slushy enough, you can move it out of the way. Because it's going to freeze again, right?
It is going to freeze up again on Saturday, but for the most part, we're riding above the freezing mark over the next few days, so a good chance to chip away if you do have some ice build up on your walkways, most certainly. Have a look at our viewer picture of the day, and this one, not exactly sure where this was. I know eastbound on the 101 near Ketteville, but
oh wow,
that's
looks
a
like
sun,
a fireball.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it does. That is a sun pillar. You can see the little pillar of light moving up
Cool.
from the sun. And Danielle, thank you very much for getting out and taking the time to snap this picture and sending it along for us. Ryan's Picks at cbc.ca. Not every day you see a sun pillar. Now, as we look at the Wednesday forecast, we'll see 6-7 degrees on tap. The winds are going to be breezy tomorrow. 30, gusting 40, 50 kilometers per hour for most, and gusting 60 to 70 along parts of the coast. The wind really eats away at the snow too, so that we'll start to lose some snow tomorrow. And then for Thursday, temperatures are going to be in the 3 to 4 range on 2 to 4 range rather on the plus side. Northerly winds breezy on Thursday morning and then backing off into the afternoon. So this is how it plays out. This is the front that is moving in from the west. We'll see the southerly winds ahead of it and the west to northwesterly winds behind it, but still mild enough on Thursday with that sunshine. And then here comes that next system, which is crawling in from the west. I shouldn't say crawling. This system is going to be moving at a really fast pace. And so that's why I think rainfall totals will be limited to 10 to 30 millimeters with this, even though it will have some heavier rain. It's coming through in a hurry. Double-digit temperatures, and again, the winds are going to be the big headline with this. Warning level criteria winds certainly looking likely with this on Friday.
Okay. All right. There's still hope for the skiers.
Yes.
The city of North Battleford, Saskatchewan is giving people who owe money on parking tickets a unique way to pay it off, all in the name of spreading some holiday cheer. It is called Toys for Tickets, and it's the third year the city is putting on the initiative.
You can pay off your fine by buying a ticket that costs more or the same or more than the ticket. The toys will be donated to a local shelter for women and children along with a local food bank.
Organizers say the program is an important step to help brighten up the holidays for kids. So far, 3 truckloads of toys have been collected. Boy, lots of tickets out there.
Not a bad idea. Okay, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.